Hello, quick video on the Primos Gen3 tripod. I've actually had mine a few years. I bought it pre-COVID. The intention was I was going to look for a permission and maybe do a bit of hunting, but that never materialised. There's not many hunting permissions around here. I've used it a few times down the range, but yeah, I just thought I'd do a very quick review. I think new at the moment they're about 160 quid. You can still get the old Gen 2 versions, which I think are about 100 quid. But they're a nice bit of kit. They're light. You can actually operate them one-handed. So obviously, if you've got the gun in one hand, you can move these forward, move them back, move them up, move them down. So you can do it all one-handed. The heights, when it's at its minimum, so from the floor to the top of the rest, it is, let me just look at my notes, it is 41 inches or 104 centimetres. When you got it at its maximum height, so literally at that height, it is, let me refer to my notes again, it is 65 inches or 165 centimetres. So that's a 20-inch difference, about 400mm or 40 centimetre difference. Now with these you can actually get them even lower. With the old Gen 2s there's no lock mechanism on the legs, but with these you can actually, I'll show you there, you can actually twist the top here, and when you twist it that locks the leg in this groove. So if you lock all three legs in the groove, you can see it goes a lot lower, and the height in that configuration, so that'd be handy if you were out hunting in a field somewhere and you needed to kneel down or sit on a beanbag or something. You were maybe staying static for a while in a hide. You can get the height right down, and at that height, from the ground to the top of the rest, it's 24 inches or 2 foot, 61 centimetres, so just a smidge over 2 foot. You click the legs back in, and that's actually on a spring, that mechanism, so it just slots back into place. It's got a quite nice feel. You've got the trigger at the front here, obviously. You've also got a quick release mechanism on the top there. You've got, if I show you that, you've got a little lock-in button here, so that flicks down, it flicks up, flicks down, flicks up. When it's up, it locks the top. When you flick that down, you've got a button here. You can then press that button and this comes off. And Primos have got their own sort of proprietary, I don't know what you call it, lock-in mechanism. So this bit fits into this slot. So again, if I show you that, you can see it moving in and out. And that locks in. And then you push the button back up. That's now locked. You can't now push that button in. So that is now locked in place. It can't come off. Obviously it swivels. As I said, you've got a nice grip. It's almost like a trigger grip here for your hand. And it feels, it's not heavy, but it's not light. You know, it feels decent quality. Yeah, it's a nice bit of kit. You can get additional, you can use it other than for shooting, so you can get different heads. So you've got I've got sort of double mounted rifle head there that you can put on. Actually, if I show you how quick it is to change it over. So literally you take the old one off, get the new one on. So that took literally about 20 seconds. So you can see it's relatively quick to change heads over. And they've actually got, this one's got a sort of hex bolt in it, but I think that one's got the one on there has got a screw in it, which is like a universal screw, so you could put a camera on there, so you can actually change heads. I mean, I've actually got 2 of these base plates. I've got a base plate on here, and I've got a base plate on there, but you could have a third one and have a camera on it, so then you can use it for single rifle. You could have it for zeroing or setting up your rifle on the double head, and then you could have another one for your camera if you're taking photos or whatever. So it's got multi-use. This one here, it's sort of a hard plastic, but it's like grippy plastic, so when your rifle's on there, obviously it's not going to slip. And the same with these. These have got these are slightly softer actually. No, that's like a hard plastic. These are very much a softer plastic. You can obviously adjust the angle of these, and you can wind them up or down, and you can move it left or right. Again, let's take that off, put the other one back on. Locked. There you go. So you can see swapping heads over takes like 30 seconds. They obviously, a tripod means it's great for uneven ground. You know, I know some people use the double sticks. Some people use one stick with a V on the top. But generally, tripods with 3 legs are great for any sort of uneven ground. So obviously, again, if you're out hunting, you know, going across the fields and ditches and things, you know, you never know where you might have to set up next to a hedge. Uneven ground is not going to be a problem for you. The differences between the Gen 3 and the Gen 2, apart from the price, and obviously this is a newer version, I'll say the old Gen 2 hasn't got had a universal type screw to attach rests. It didn't have this removable mount, as far as I'm aware. So this was new for the Gen 3, I think. I think the old Gen 2 just had to screw, and you could screw your cameras or whatever into them. I prefer this because it sort of locks, and obviously they're relatively cheap. I think I might have even got one of mine off eBay, so it's a sort of copy of the Primus one. And the Gen 3 obviously has a collar to stop the legs spraying, so when you got it down low and they lock into that slot, it stops them, you know, moving around. They're locked. The Gen 3 goes lower because you've got that sort of kneeling sitting position where it locks and goes low. It actually does go lower than the old Gen 2. And that's about it, I think. There's not a lot of difference other than this is just a newer updated version and obviously more expensive. But they're a nice bit of kit, you know. Like I say, if you need a tripod, if you're on the move, they're light to carry. Again, you can carry it one-handed, you can operate it one-handed. So, you know, I've had mine for a couple of years. Like I say, I'll take it down the range occasionally, but I did actually buy it for hunting, but I've never got around to getting a permission. So, anyway, there you go. So that's the Primus Gen 3 tripod. I'd say, hope that's useful for someone. Cheers, bye.